All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get rolling. I'm sure guys will start coming in here as we go. Again, my name is Nate Eimer. I'm the head football coach at West Aurora High School, which is in Aurora, Illinois. It's right outside of Chicago. So my presentation, Coach Stewart and Coach Simpson have me presenting on is our buck and RPOs that work. As we go through that, one thing I'll keep talking about is this is definitely a work in progress for us. It's something we do. We keep evolving and keep working at. My bio, I've been at West Aurora for 14 years. I'm an alumni, second all-time winningest coach in school history. Been to the playoffs 6 times. Our program has only been in 10 times in its existence. We've been around for 132 years. And offensively, the groups that we've coached the past 14 years, we are 6 of the top 10 in total yards. I definitely attribute a lot of that to all the wing tee and all the help that we've gotten from guys over the years. Why we RPO, okay? Creates a numbers game. I want to block. I want to have more guys blocking than you have. I want to put my guys in a position to make one guy miss and go score a touchdown, okay? Get a route in the place of an area the defense overplays. Now, the reason I'm putting this in is because maybe you're not a big buck guy. Maybe you are a big buck guy. Maybe there's a different play you want to RPO. This is how my brain works when I'm coming up with RPOs. So with buck, right, what are the things for me that really give us problems? The guy on the front side of the play that crashes down really hard and takes out our pulling guard, the backside linebacker. He's flying over and getting a really good fit because he's coming over so fast because he's reading the backside puller, right? So I think about what is an RPO that can help that out, okay? Isolate a stud receiver. We had a kid this year. He's heading to Iowa. There are just times, guys, where I wanted to use RPOs to either you're going to put 2 over him and I'm going to make my numbers game better, or you can't guard him with one guy. We're going to throw him the ball and let him go make a play. Okay. The fourth one is something that I've kind of come around to. I don't think these are hard. And I think making the throwing game in high school easy needs to be a priority. We can all get up here and draw things up and we could say our quarterback's got to make those throws. But the truth in high school is most of our kids can't make those throws. Okay. So I think the throws are not very hard. And then getting kids excited. I think RPOs get kids excited. I think, and I know there shouldn't be the mentality, but sometimes when you tell a wide receiver, we're just going to block all game, they don't always love it, right? You don't get the same kind of energy from you. Tell them we're going to do an RPO, it gets them going. So those are the 5 real reasons we've come to run RPOs. And hopefully you'll see that as you go through these. Okay. So here's some of the concepts we run. And I have some really poor drawings that I did on the next slide, but hopefully you get the idea. 2x2, right? So if we have like a 2x2 set, bubble, right? Slot runs a bubble. The outside receiver is going to block the cornerback. Easy stuff. Now you may be like, Coach, RPO. Guys, RPO is run pass option. So anytime you come up and you're going to either run it or throw it, that's a run pass option to me. That's an RPO. We run a quick. Outside receiver just kind of stays in place to catch the ball. This time the slot receiver will go block the cornerback. Okay. We call it razor. Definitely stole this from Coach Simpson. Slot wide receiver runs kind of a seam through the middle of the field. We do different things with our outside receiver, but you'll see that concept here in a minute. Hawaii is just our hitch. So really simple. We fake, we throw the ball, or we maybe give it to the running back, throw the ball to the slot receiver, just running a hitch right where a guy might vacate if the play's at him or away from him. Just a single, meaning like a receiver all by themselves. You can run all types of routes. I'll show you what we do. I'll talk about what we don't do anymore. And we go from there. And then 3x1 shield. This is one you guys will see. I haven't found a way to run it with Buck, but I do have some videos at the end. Hopefully we get time to show those. It was really good for us this year. Again, pretty easy throw. Really puts defenses in a bind when we're talking about 3-over-1 with any type of run play back to it. Okay, so there's our concepts. So here we go. Okay, so we call this slot, which is funny. We're kind of doing a project this offseason. We may end up calling this a different formation, but this is a 2x2, right? So we got a slot receiver, a slot set up with an off-the-ball wide receiver and an on-the-ball wide receiver. We have your tight end wing base formation. And again, guys, there's a lot of different sets that we get in terms of fronts versus our slot. I just do the basic one so you can kind of see how we run our buck. The next slide I'm going to get into kind of describes how in the different things that we look at, but you can kind of get the general picture of what we're trying to do here. Okay, so that's our quick. Our slot receiver's blocking the corner. If the corner was way off, he could block the strong safety guys. It's kind of what you guys want to do, and that's again talking about attacking a weakness. Let me go into this next slide. Okay, so notes on this. Now, here's something I'm going to tell you in the slot formation. You really should get a one high safety. And if you don't, and you can't run the ball, I'm just going to tell you it's probably going to be a long day and my presentation is not going to help you, okay? If you do get a two high safety, though, I mean, you really should be throwing these RPOs automatically because I don't really know how they match up. But in theory, you're going to get a one high safety most of the time. Now, pre-snap or post-snap, okay? We did mostly pre-snap this year. We had a junior quarterback. This year, I am going to challenge him to do post-snap. What I mean by the difference in that is when he saw pre-snap, he's token faking. He's throwing the ball outside to our quick route based on the leverage of you would call it the strong safety in there, okay? I would like to get to the point where we post-snap and, if the strong safety comes in, we're putting the ball in his belly, we're pulling it out, we're throwing the quick because that really gets you in a 2-on-1 out there, okay? The player over the slot and the free safety determine your RPO choice. You're going to see clips as we go through where because of the guys that we had out there, that free safety is really over the top of our slot. And to me, that's just an automatic give, right? Because if we can block it on the front side, that's a third level player that's completely out of it. It really adds for long runs as you go through this. Just a couple of things you could always add a QB poll. We have a pretty athletic quarterback. It's something we're going to keep doing. But it really is a numbers game, right? 7 blocking 6, cornerback and free safety. I don't include because they better be third level defenders. And then 2-on-1 on the outside or 2-on-2 would make a guy miss. I mean, if you have guys out there that can make people miss, sometimes we got to count on that. I mean, we talk about that all the time with our ball carriers. You're in charge of one, especially out there because it should be a lot of space. Okay. So here's a clip. Of us. Got my early morning coffee, guys. As I'm throwing this up, I'm just going to tell a quick story. It was really awesome last night. Took my wife out for Valentine's Day, driving home, flat tire, out in the snow in Illinois. Really great. All right, so here we go. Slot right, okay? We're going to run quick, okay? This is our first round playoff game. You can kind of see, the free safety early on is pretty involved over there. I'll run it another time. I mean, you'll start to see, right, they're creeping me. They have 3 over 2 right now, right? So, I would be okay really with my quarterback throwing this ball because we talked about it, but he's doing what he's taught, right? I mean, we really get a numbers game over there. You're going to see early on, they're basically tackling our puller, which is something. But anyways, real simple way. We got what we wanted. Didn't have to throw the quick, but it took us to where we wanted to, and we got our numbers game around the football. Okay.